Yo, what is going on, everybody? You got Tone here, coach of the Maine Red Clawitzers, and I am here bringing you guys my battle for week number 4 of season 6 of the Major Pokemon League, where we will be taking on Keegan and his Olympique Flygon. If you guys did miss a team builder, it will be in the first line in the description down below. As always, be sure to check that out so you can know the sets while we're bringing what we're bringing for this matchup. For a more condensed version, for those of you who don't want to watch a team builder, I am bringing a 2 attacks Roost Toxic Hera Black with Life Orb, a Modest Choice Scarf Hydreigon, a bulky offensive Synthesis 3 attacks Mega Venusaur, a Subseed Dual Stab Celesteela, a Stealth Rock Roar, 2 attacks Rindoberry Swampert, and an Assault Vest Gardevoir. And as you can see by my opponent, Keegan had decided to bring the Tapu Koko, the Hawlucha, the Salamence, the Roserade, the Alolan Raichu, and the Uxie. So the first thing I noticed about my opponent's team is it is pretty much what I expected. The main one being whether it be Uxie or Registeel to come as the potential Stealth Rocker in this game. And also another thing to note about the team he brought, it is very offensive. Well, more offensive than I'd hoped to see in the most part, even though I kind of expected these 6 Pokemon for the most part. So in terms of a lead matchup, I figured I'd try to get the initiative by trying to match his offense with some offense of my own, because I did not want to be put on the back foot early on in the match. So I decided to try to lead off with my Hera Black here, trying to catch like a lead Uxie, going for Stealth Rock early on in the game, but we're going to hit that play button and see how we do in this matchup. So I figured at this point I'd try to get the initiative, like I said, to lead off with my Kyurem, try to nuke something like the Uxie coming in for the Stealth Rock, but he makes this the better play, at least I would Tapu Koko, because I don't have an my electric immunity is Swampert, which doesn't want to take a potential Grass Knot. So I'm going to be forced out here, turn 1 here. I could have been ballsy, try to stay in and go for the Ice Beam or Earth Power, but I decided to go hard into my Mega Venusaur here as he goes for the U-turn, predicting my switch. Gets a crit, kind of unfortunate for turn 1, but not really that much of a difference here, as it goes directly into his Alolan Raichu here. So I'm immediately scared out by this thing. I'm going to go directly out into my designated Raichu, switching, being my Gardevoir. We're going to trace that Surge Surfer. He goes for the nasty plot here. So good on Keegan. I could have probably stayed in with my Venusaur and got off some damage, but he goes for a Thunderbolt here. We live it, and we're going to go for the Shadow Ball here. We're going to do a good chunk of damage to this Alolan Raichu here. Now here is where I wish I had Shadow. I kept Shadow Sneak on my initial Gardevoir here, but I don't have it. I want to make the play out into my Hydreigon here. If he goes for a Thunderbolt, it does well over half because Electric Terrain boosted. And now I'm going to try to play around, trying to get rid of the Electric Terrain here. So I'm going to make the double into my Mega Venusaur as he goes for the Focus Blast. Does connect here. He's going to get off some good damage to my Venusaur. So now I'm going to decide to leave in my Venusaur because it literally isn't doing anything for this matchup here. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve here as Keegan is just going to fire off a Psychic and to take out my Mega Venusaur. So just like that, we are already down 6-5 in this matchup. So I'm going to go out into my Gardevoir again here, trying to get the initiative here. But as you can see, normally Electric Terrain will be gone by now, but unfortunately it is not going to be the case, as he is going to take out my Gardevoir with the Thunderbolt. Really wish I had I kept Shadow Sneak on this thing. So here I want to make a double into Hydreigon, predicting this Z Psychic coming off from the from this Alolan Raichu here, but I didn't make that play, kind of regretting me not doing that here, as my Swampert could have taken a +2 Psychic, but I didn't make the play I did, and unfortunately he also crits for good measure. So the Alolan Raichu is putting in so much work against my team, as Electric Terrain finally ends as I go out into my Hydreigon. I'm going to force the thing out with a U-turn. I'm going to go for the U-turn here as he goes hard into Tapu Koko here to get the Electric Terrain back up for 8 turns, because that's definitely Terrain Extender Tapu Koko. there's no way terrain would last that long in this battle. So I'm going to go back into my Kieran Black, because my Kieran Black can take a Dazzling Gleam. Since I know this thing is not Life Orb, he's going to go for the U-turn here just to get some chip damage off on my Kieran Black here. Then I'm going to go fire off an Ice Beam on the incoming Uxie. And as you see by the damage, we're going to do a little bit less than half, and now it's a crit too. So that's a very, very specially defensive Uxie, if anything. So now I'm going to go for another Ice Beam here, just trying to get off some damage on this Uxie, as he's going to go for the U-turn on this Uxie, just trying to whittle down my Kieran Black as best as it possibly can. He's going to go back into Tapu Koko here. And now he's going to make the U-turn play again, because he wasn't sure if it was in range of Dazzling Gleam, and the fact that he kept pivoting like this probably meant that he wasn't in all fully offensive Koko, so he's going to sack off his Uxie here to that Ice Beam. So Kieran Black picking up its first kill with the team. Back out comes the Koko here, as he's going to fire off a Dazzling Gleam and take out the Kieran. So yeah, it's not looking good for us, guys. We are now down 2 to 5, excuse me. In comes my Celesteela, and we're just going to fire off a Heavy Slam here, as I'm not expected to live this Thunderbolt, but surprisingly we do. So this pretty much confirms my assumption that this is a very, very bulky Tapu Koko design, just to set up the electric terrain and make sure it's up there for as much turns as possibly can. Fire off another Thunderbolt here, take on my Celesteela, gets a crit again, doesn't matter in this case, and now I'm just down to my Scarf Hydreigon. I don't have anything to lock myself into that could be the rest of the team, other than Flash Cannon, so I could try to get it down to a 4-0, but the Koko lived. And that is going to be the game, as he's going to take a fire of Dazzling Gleam, take out my Hydreigon, and we are going to get destroyed in a manner of speaking. Well, not really in a manner of speaking. We just got outplayed, and we are going to take a hard 5-0 loss in this game. So first and foremost, GG to Keegan. He had very solid prep. The Terrain Extender bulky Tapu Koko was a very, very good bring against my team, just because of the fact that not only does it benefit the Holucha, it also benefit the Alolan Raichu to ensure that it outsped my entire team with electric terrain up. Now, of course, this goes back to this basically just goes back to me making sure, well, not really making sure, but me wishing I kept Shadow Sneak on my Gardevoir in this case, because if I had kept Shadow Sneak on the Gardevoir, obviously Shadow Ball and the Shadow Sneak would have definitely taken out the Alolan Raichu. I would have had a lot less to worry about, and I still would have had roughly half my team intact. But it is what it is. I'm not going to make any excuses. Keegan just prepped better than me. He deserved this win. That's pretty much the long and short of it. It's hard to really describe like what happened in this sequence of events where it's not really the fact that things didn't go my way. It was more of the fact that I really didn't have a response to his offense, or my responses to his offense were too KO'd. I could have been more aggressive with my Venusaur, especially considering it really wasn't doing much for me in this game outside of perhaps maybe checking like Tapu Koko, but I still had a good amount of threats, but I didn't really feel like Venusaur was doing much in this game. But again, it is what it is. So we're going to take a 5-0 loss. We're now 2-2 on the season, -4 differential, so just hopefully it's not going to be this pattern of alternating wins and losses for the rest of the season. But nonetheless, I hope you guys did enjoy the battle nonetheless. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure to check out Keegan's side of the battle, because I know has a lot of things to say about this game as well. Also, be sure to check out all the coaches in the MPL as well. So we are going to move on from this loss. We are going to take on our good friend the Uzi Gunner and his Bullet Punch Club in our Week 5 matchup. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and looking forward to bouncing back from this loss. So till the next time, guys, this is Tone signing out for now. Peace out.